Go ahead and go start to test things out. Always. Let's see. We should be live on YouTube. Am I live on YouTube? I am here. Got a couple of people just on YouTube today. What is going on, family? Happy Friday to you in this new decade. The first Friday in the new year. Having a great fun here. I'm a little early. No, I said I was doing this at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It is now 5:57. Just wanted to kind of come on early, check in, make sure that I can be heard, I can be seen. As anything with technology, things go wrong. And sometimes I know the last time there was audio issues with the syncing. So I'm trying to see how things signs out there. Phone is ringing. I got to make sure I silence that on live video. How about that? Embarrassing there. Man, few people checking in. What is going on? Trucking with Mr. Coach. Happy New Year's to you. I'm saying happy new decade, man, because we are in 2020, an entirely new decade, man. You know, opportunity to make magic happen. So happy new year to you. Sketches to design. I see you. Happy new year to you, Mr. Joseph Glenn. Man, I appreciate you tuning in. So God bless you. Appreciate it. Visionary Media. Happy new year to you. Everybody who's here, happy new year. So glad that you are here. Again, I'm excited. I don't know if y'all can see the chills on me right now because it's a new decade and we have an opportunity in 2020. You know, I said this last time I went live and I'm just going to repeat myself. But in 2020, the correlation from a physical standpoint, when we talk about 2020, we're talking about pristine vision, right? You can see everything clearly. And to me, that just resonates for this year, 2020. We are going to be on point. We are going to have some of the biggest visions. We are going to be able to see things clearly so we can make some beautiful decisions and just come out on top. So that's what the goal is for today, man. To all of you who are here, just checking in. Is everything okay on your end? Can you see me well? Can you hear me well? You know, please type in the chat if there's anything I need to adjust. Let me know. Leslie just joined us. Welcome. I see you. I appreciate you being here. As always, y'all know I got nothing but love for my family, man. I'm super excited. Trucking Mr. Coach says, congrats on the merch. Yes, the Box 7, the brand, it is out, man. I appreciate it. I'm super excited. If I can be honest with you guys, I still don't know what I'm doing with it yet. I just know that it's there. And I'm excited to actually have Box 7, the brand. All right. Visionary Media said that everything is great. And I am going to take that as, an expert, right? Because their media is in the name, so obviously they know a lot more about this stuff than I do. So if they say everything is good, man, I'm excited that everything is good, man. So definitely. C Veller, yes, happy New Year. C, you were here the last time on the last live stream, and you wanted me to send you a copy of the budgeting tool that I have, but I did not receive a way to send it to you. So after this, make sure that you shoot me an email with a way for me to give it to you, because I'd be more happy to give it to you, but just make sure that I have something to communicate with you with, so I can make sure I get that to you. Because what is today? Today is January 3rd. We are 3 days in our Stay Broke campaign, and we need to make sure that we stay committed to it, man. So definitely there. Mr. Levi Apparel says hi, welcome. Okay. Visionary Media said they have a media and an apparel line. That's what I'm talking about. See, there's a lot of things going on this year, and I'm loving it. I'm loving to see people become successful, which is, I guess, why we are here today. So for those of you who are tuning in and may not know who I am, please allow me to introduce myself. Tyrone Gregory, the self-employed tax guy, also known as your favorite uncle, cousin, and I would like to welcome you to the Self-Employed Tax Guys channel. And today in this video, we are going to be talking about the new California AB5, which took effect 2 days ago on January 1st, and how And how it's really going to affect those who are trying to truly remain independent, right? That is the goal for tonight's live. So I really want to jump into it because y'all know me, your favorite Uncle Cousin. I love to talk, especially when we're talking about business and being successful. We can be here till next year, 2021. But the goal is to only really be here for a short time, really just long enough for really us to understand how we're going to navigate this new bill. So quick check in, man. I see a lot of people in on the comments, man. Much love to everybody there. Levi says, yes, we have to learn to have multiple streams of income. That is absolutely true. I guess we're going to go to a side note real quick. When we talk about multiple incomes, it's kind of like a tree, right? Like, and we can kind of visualize this. If you have a tree that's receiving one source of water, it'll be good, right? The tree will grow up and the leaves will sprout and it'll be a good tree. But if that tree is planted next to multiple sources, next to multiple rivers, and it's receiving source from those multiple rivers, it is going to really flourish, right? So that's what we want to be, a tree planted next to multiple rivers, and we're getting those sources, those resources to us so we can flourish. So yes, multiple streams of income is the goal. And I do believe this year in 2020, even though this YouTube channel is more or less focused on taxes and really going behind the scenes, I think I really want to start focusing on more too about, our business strategies, how we can increase our sales, understanding marketing, understanding the sales process itself, really kind of getting into everything we need to make sure that our business is successful and that it doesn't become one of those statistics that say, business failed after the first couple of years. And I mean, there's a few reasons why that happens, and we want to make sure that we avoid doing that. So yes. So Visionary Media has a question, said, does this affect LLC? I'm not sure what that question is, but we're going to have a Q&A afterwards. So maybe if you can kind of expand on like what do you mean? Does this affect an LLC? Okay. And so, yeah, somebody says they love doing taxes. Well, you're weird. I'm going to say that, not everybody hates taxes. I guess you and I are weird because I love doing taxes too. But Levi Apparel says that they love doing taxes. So you're weird like me. All right. So let's go ahead and kind of get to this. I'll put together a PowerPoint. Like, I'm still using the vMix software that's going to help me share the screen and kind of bring everything into YouTube so we can do that. So let me kind of see how this works here. So right now you should be seeing greetings from California, because that's what that's where I am right now. I'm in Southern California, and greetings from California. And for those of you who saw the original video, the California AB5 and the independent contractor, this was like one of the title slides in that one here. So should be somewhat familiar. So I just want to go ahead and get to it. So here we are. Today, we're going to talk about Assembly Bill number 5, and we consider this the California AB5 Part 2. Okay, and so let's go ahead and kind of get into this. What I want to do real quick before we really dive into everything is just recap everything. Okay, so how this all started. This started, or should I say, there was a decision that came down from the Superior Court of Los Angeles back on April 30th in 2018. All right, so here we are in 2020. This happened 2 years ago, and it involved the company Dynamex Operations West Incorporated. And what Dynamex did, and I'm just being honest with you, they were trying to find a way to increase their bottom line. And so as a way to do that, they decided to cut half their change half their workforce from regular W-2 employees and made them independent contractors. Well, of course, that caused a big stir and a lot of things happened. So on April 30th, what changed in that court decision was this. Now employers. All right. So this is a bill that affects people who hire people. All right. So now we have to determine which one are they? Are they a W-2 employee or are they independent contractor? That is all that this bill is making employers do. They're forcing them to really make a decision. Are they really a W-2 employee or are they really truly independent? That is the pretty much the gist. And here's why. Okay, because as a W-2 employee, again, I'm just recapping this from the original video. As a W-2 employee, these are the benefits that you are legally entitled to receive. First one, unemployment. Okay. Then you get paid time off, sick pay, vacation pay, family leave, and workers' comp insurance. If you get injured on the job, you will have money coming in the fact that you cannot work. Okay. That is the legal benefits that you receive as an actual W-2 employee versus if you are an independent contractor. These are the benefits that you receive legally. Okay. You receive zero, zip, zilch, nada, nothing. So don't you ask. All right. Now, so we can see, okay. As we can see, I'm kind of repeating myself. What happens when we go live? It's one I like doing live and kind of get used to it. But going back to W-2 employee, look at the benefits you get, okay, versus what you get as an independent contractor. And that is the entire spirit of the bill. All right. And that's kind of what I want to, say that's the whole reason why this bill exists. That is, in essence, the spirit of the bill. They want to ensure that people who should be W-2 employees and thereby entitled to all of those benefits actually receive it. Now, real quick, and I just want to kind of put this out there because we are live. I can see comments are happening there. I get it. This bill has divided the people per se, almost in a sense, because in the original video, I received a lot of comments, seen a lot of comments. People absolutely hate it. And there are some people who absolutely love it. It depends on what side you're on. Me, I really don't have a side. I understand both sides because as a tax professional, I've had individuals come down, sit right in front of me and have an expectation of one thing, but then when they hand me the 1099 and I see that their income is in box 7, I have to inform this is not what you thought. You're not a W-2 employee. You're an independent contractor. And once I explain to them what they means, you can see the shock. You can see the dismay. You can see oh my God, nobody told me that. And that happens more often than not. I get it. I understand because as an employer, you can reduce your bottom line by hiring people as independent contractors and putting the entire responsibility on that individual. Now, granted, some people like that. And that's where the divide is coming from, because some people truly like the fact that, hey, I'm independent. I don't need you telling me what to do. I don't need you in my finances. I don't need you controlling my time. I want to do everything myself. Lots of people like that. And it's just 100% respectable. I like them people. I love, but then you have them individuals who are uninformed and they go hire or they go get a job and the hiring entity does not explain to them, okay, we're going to make you an independent contractor. And that's what this means. So this bill, again, the spirit of the bill is to protect the innocent or protect the unknown, because a lot of people don't know what it means to be independent. And so with that being said, my goal here is to kind of help us navigate, for those of us who truly want to remain as independent, who truly want that freedom, find a way to navigate through this new California Assembly bill. So that's what, again, the goal is here today. So first things, before we get into the strategy, what I want us to understand is this here. How can I do this? Let me do a wipe. How about that? Didn't work. Let us do. I'm trying this out, y'all. We having fun with. Um, Not much to really worry about per se. We just, if you're in California, you may be affected, but anywhere else, it hasn't spread yet. But I believe it is my opinion that this is going to spread because the independent contractor versus W-2 dilemma happens everywhere across all 50 states. Right now, California is the only one, as far as I'm aware, that's actually acting on it. So if you are not in California right now, you really don't have to worry about it, as you won't be affected by it that much unless, like one of the comments I received, somebody is in Florida and they wanted to hire independent contractors in California. That may be an issue. So understanding that, one, this is only in California, so you are cleared there. Now, let's go ahead and kind of get to the review of what I call the ABCs, right? Because this is the important one. Understanding the ABCs is going to help us really navigate around these particular guidelines. So let's go ahead and make sure we understand them. The first one. Now, what the ABCs are, before we get into that, again, recapping here, what the ABCs test is for the employer. That is key. Okay, this is for the person hiring the independent contractor. They have to measure them up against these three tests to make sure that they are truly independent and legally able to be hired as an independent contractor. Grab some water here, 1 second. So the first test, okay, now this is what the first one we must understand, says that the person is free from the control and direction. That really means that the person hiring the independent contractor cannot, and I mean absolutely cannot, have any control over that individual. The only thing that they have control over is the outcome of the actual job per se. For example, let's say if I wanted to be a painter, right? Let's say I was a painter. I wanted to paint this room, right? Or I wanted to hire. I'm the hiring person. I'm going to be the person doing the hiring, and I want to hire somebody to paint this entire room. The only control I have over that individual is the fact that I want this room painted blue, and I want it painted by next week, Friday. Right? That's it. I can't tell them when to come in and do the job. I can't tell them how to dress when they come to do the job. I can't provide them tools. I cannot tell them what tools to use. I have nothing but the creative outcome. That's the only control that I would have. And that's what A is saying. If you are hiring somebody as an independent contractor, you cannot control them in any way. You cannot give them a certain set of hours. You cannot give them lunch breaks. You cannot tell them how long of a break they should take. If they wanted to come in at 9 a.m., do an hour's worth of work and go home, so be it. You have no control over that. As long as they meet the deadline and do it according to the job description, they're fine. There's nothing you can do with that. So keep that in mind, because we're going to go back and talk about how we're going to use that to our advantage, right? So no control. Let's see the B test. So let's bring it on up to B here. Get it over here. Oh, look at that little animations. All right. So this is how it affects those in the gig community or the rideshare community. Think about it. Let's use Uber and Lyft as our example, because these, in my opinion, are going to be the biggest impacted individuals or companies in this with this bill in California. Uber has no control, right? So we're going back to A, right? They have no control. You can get up, you can log on, turn the app on, go do one drive and be done for the day, right? They have no control of you. So they pass that test, no problem. They have absolutely no control. But think about what B is saying. And I'm gonna repeat it here. It says, the person performs the work that is outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business. Well, what is the usual course of Uber and Lyft? Picking people up, dropping people off at their desired destination. That is the core of Uber and Lyft's business, or anybody that does that. If it's DoorDash, TaskRabbit, if that is the core of their business. So if B is saying that you have to perform work that is outside of that, well, what is that? What can you do for Uber that is outside of their course of business? That's where, to me, is going to be a challenge for Uber, Lyft, and those kind of ride share type businesses, because if their entire business model is, dependent upon somebody taking a passenger from A to B, well, there was nothing outside of that. There was nothing outside of that to do. So B kind of kills it in that instance, right? One of the reasons why a lot of people aren't fans of AB5, and I get it, because as with anything, anytime somebody wins, we're going to have somebody that's going to lose. There's always going to be somebody that is going to be negatively impacted anytime somebody is going to be positively impacted. It's always going to be a divide. Our goal is to just see how we can circumvent and navigate around this. So understand that's B, doing things outside of the core of the business. And the last one, C, being the that, well, C is asking, are you truly independent, right? Are you doing this not just for this one entity, but for multiple entities or for multiple individuals? Are you really an independent contractor? So C, and this is an example of a plumber, right? A plumber is considered an independent contractor. Why? Because they do plumbing jobs for multiple people. They do it for multiple customers. They just don't do it for one individual. They do it for a lot of people. So therefore, they would be considered independent, because this is what they do all the time. This is something that they do naturally, right? This is, if you ask a plumber, does he do taxes? I'm pretty sure he'll say no, right? I mean, that's just what he does. He's a plumber. They're a plumber. They do nothing else but what they do. And that is what C is making sure of. So now, when we bring all of that together, when we bring all of it to a head, it really begs the question, like, okay, well, So the whole point of the video, now we get into the meat, now we get into the juicy part. So as I take a swig of water, get you a pen and paper. Right, and if you haven't subscribed by this point, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification. So anytime we do this, because it's 2020, we might be having a lot more fun doing this a lot more often. Do that. Appreciate everybody who just came in, seeing some new comments there. Give me cornbread. Yes. Oh, now you're making me hungry. I haven't even ate yet. But hey, I see you waved. I appreciate it. So getting back to it, now that we know the ABCs, now that we know what it is they're asking for, right? How can we now? Here's a copy of the bill. I'm gonna just show it to you. Here's a copy of the bill. You see, it's not that thick. You know, it's not really much to really do. But those ABCs, right? Has really changed the game. They really switched things up. So what you do? Let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to give you a certain set of things that I want you to do to kind of help you remain independent. Now, one thing about this bill is the fact that it's new. It just took effect January 1st of 2020. So as with every new law, as with every new thing that affects employers, workers, and taxes and things like that, I believe that there's going to be some adjustments made based on the outcry that people are saying. There's going to be some protests. There's going to be a lot of back and forth, like I said, between Uber and Lyft and them trying to go to court and figure out how to get things done. So there are going to be changes with this process, some adjustments. We just want to make sure that we are able to pivot. We don't want to be so stuck in our ways that when they change, we get left behind because we wasn't ready for it. We want to be able to pivot and make sure that we truly remain independent. So here are some things that you can do to remain independent. Remain, I mean, let me put my face back on the screen. If you want to remain a truly an independent contractor, it is going to take some work. We just can't sit back and be like, okay, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to do what I've been doing and remain independent. No, if you really truly want that boss's freedom, that hustler's freedom, you are going to have to put in some work. Hustle means hard work. So what I'm getting ready to say here means that, you know, some conversations are going to have to be had with the people who's paying you, because we have to have the appearance that we are independent now, which means we're going to have to act on our own without any, remember, part A says no control. They can't control anything that we're doing, and which is going to be difficult for some people who pay us because they want to control things. Now, as independent contractors, we're going to have different conversations with people who pay us, starting with this one. Um, do I have one? Yeah, I think I have one sitting right here. Something like this on your phone, real simple. PayPal has one. And just let me give a disclaimer. Anything I mention in here, I'm not an affiliate for. I'm just mentioning it because it's a good resource. So I want to put that out there. There will be no affiliate links, no anything like that. I just want to make sure y'all have, some information. But processing your own payments with something like this is a Square reader. I personally use Square for all of my payment processing when I'm in person. That is, I'm not really often in person. But something simple like this, you have to be able to process your own payments. You cannot have your customer pay the company and then have the company pay you. That cannot happen. If you want to remain independent, the transaction, or at least the payment, has to be directly between you and the customer. There cannot be a third party involved. The only third party involved is going to be the bank itself. All right. So yeah, let's process your own payments. Let's see. Next one. And this one kind of goes back to on the hiring entity to provide us with customers. We have to go out and keep our own book of business, right? And that's what I like to say. That one is the C part. Remember, C was, let me read it because I have it in front of me. C said that the person is customarily engaged in an independent established trade. Well, if you keep your own book of business, that is going to be considered, or that is going to, in the eyes of the law, make you customarily engaged, because this is what you do for multiple people. You're just not doing it for this one individual. You're doing it for multiple people. You have your own book of business. So you are truly independent. So with that, if you're doing that, then you passed part C, right? And if you've done everything else, you pass part A. The thing of it is, now we're going to have to figure out how we can pass part B, which is performing work that is outside the normal course of the entity. So um, I'm just having fun playing with these little transitions here with this software. I'm just testing things out, y'all. But this maintaining your own business license really comes into play. For example, like with barbershops, estheticians, cosmetologists who are working under somebody else's license. Well, to truly remain independent, you must now maintain your own. You must now go to the city in which you're working, go to that particular business development department and say, hey, I need a business license. What is the process? Get it under your name. Or if you want to establish a DBA, do that first, then go get your license. But now you're going to need to have your own license, and you cannot work under somebody else's. Getting that out the way, you'll definitely be good, and you'll maintain your independent. And I do believe the last one here. IRS, and you're going to have to give a copy to them, give a copy to, I do believe there's 5 copies. I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I could be wrong. There's 5 copies of the 1099-A. One goes to the IRS. I do believe the other goes to the Social Security Administration. The other one goes to the actual individual. Then you keep a copy. And I do believe there's a summary form that gets sent to the IRS to say this is how many 1099s that you've issued. But if you want to remain independent, then that is something that you're going to have to do. Now, so far with these, little pivots that we can make, it's simple, right? Setting our own hours, transacting our own payments, right? Getting our own set of books, really simple. To me, those will help us navigate A and B of the test. I'm sorry, A and C of the test. A, meaning that we're free, we're 100% independent, we free of control. They can't control nothing, right? That's a conversation that is going to have to be had with the people who pay us. Like, hey, I can come in when I want, leave when I want, do what I want, as long as I do what it is you want me to do, as long as I deliver the result you're looking for, right? That's the only thing they have control. C says is customarily engaged as an independent established trade. Well, if we're doing this for multiple people, not just one person, then hey, we are customarily engaged in it. This is what we do. This is our business, right? We're free from that one. The challenges be performing work that is outside the usual course. So this is where, like I said, not everybody's going to be able to navigate this. It is really up in the air, because one thing the bill does not say, and which is I said, I do believe there's going to be some amendments to come to it. There's going to be some real changes. It doesn't say, how exactly what that is, right? So, for example, in Uber and Lyft, they do also pay you for referrals, right? Like I do believe a majority of the driving income gets reported on a 1099K, and then the referral income gets reported on a 1099 miscellaneous with the income in box 7. So that's outside of the entity itself. So I don't know how that's going to work. That hasn't been clarified. So how to really do work that is outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business, well, that's going to be the challenge for a lot of people. Is there going to be an easy way to get beyond that challenge? Honestly, I really don't know. There have been some very interesting comments that I've seen that talk about that and kind of really ask that question, So that, should I say, and let me put this back on screen here. Let me do a cue. Independent contractors. For example, I had a gentleman hit me up where he offers a services where he, I guess, is a DJ, and he has booked all these venues, but he sends other DJs out, right, to do these venues, but he is the main individual. And like when we had the discussion, I said, based on what he told me, he would pass the part A and part C because he doesn't control anything. He just say, hey, here's a gig, play it, do what you do. So he has no control. So he passes on that instance. And then, see the person is customarily engaged. Well, if they're DJing and they DJ other parties, well, then, hey, that's what they customarily do. That makes them truly independent. I say he would pass on that point. But B, is this individual performing work that is outside the core of the business? Well, his core business was providing DJ services, and these individuals that he's hiring is also providing DJ services. So I said, well, you would fail on that test. And the thing is, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, so I'll mention it now. You must, or say as an employer, the person that you're hiring must pass all three tests. If they do not pass all three tests and you want to hire them, you cannot hire them as an independent contractor. You must hire them as a W-2 employee. And that's the thing with this California AB5, which is why it's making a lot of people upset, because it's not the fact that A or B or C or a combination. No, you as an employer have to ensure that that person pass all three tests, or you must hire them as a W-2 employee. Wherein, which is what a lot of people don't want to do, because when you hire people as a W-2 employee, well, then there's payroll taxes involved, there's workers' comp insurance, there's unemployment insurance, there's all the benefits that you must provide, sick pay, and all that. A lot, and it increases, or sort of decreases your bottom line, because it now would just increase your overhead by doing that. So a lot of people don't want to do that, but that's what it has to do. So if you're looking, like, for example, in the case where the DJ, right, he said his main core business was providing the DJ services. Well, he said he has spoke to an attorney, and they had a discussion, which was good. And they said, talking about changing the business model. And I 100% agree. But my question is, what would the business model be changed to? Like, would you say you are a staffing agency now, no longer a DJ providing thing? You're now a staffing agency who focuses on staffing entertainers. Maybe, can get away with it that way. Definitely something to consider there. But changing the business model would probably be the only way to kind of get around B. Right, having people that perform work that is outside the usual course, which means also, as the independent contractor, the person wanting to remain independent. Again, when you're going for these jobs, ask, like, what is the core of your business? Am I doing what is outside the core of the business? For example, a lot of people in construction are able to kind of get away with it. I won't say get away with it, but they kind of exempt from it. Because think, a construction company, yes, they build, but when they hire drywall subcontractors, when they hire plumbing subcontractors, those individuals, whatever it is that they specialize in, that's what they do, not necessarily construction. So it's kind of too broad to really have that term. So construction people is one of them things that kind of, or one of those industries that kind of don't have to really worry about this here. But we can see, as long as you can remain outside of the hiring company's entity or the hiring entity's core business, you'll be set to go. And I do believe that's pretty much all I have as far as bring myself back on here. All right. So real quick, I'm looking here. I'm actually on the YouTube channel, on the Self-Employed Tax Guy YouTube channel. Under the video, there are comments, and you can see them there. They're public. I had one comment. This is from Gene Mark. Said that they pretty much, and I'm paraphrasing here, so bear with me, that they have a language service agency in Florida. and they had planned on expanding to California. Now they won't be able to. And so when I responded, I like, it's very interesting. And to me, I thought that there would be a way around it based on the fact that, they have service agencies who's hiring these individuals. So what I want to say to Gene Mart, and they also replied to my comment, and again, paraphrasing again, saying that they have a roster of about 500 interpreters in different cities. They send them on different assignments based on the demand, right? Some languages are more in demand than others, obviously. And I guess the concern with Gene is like, yeah, he or she would love to have these people come in and be W-2 employees, but how, right, when they may work 3 hours a week, 15 hours a week and things like that. But based on the ABC test, I'm thinking that if these individuals do more than just work for Gene, like if these 500 people, if they're doing teaching language, right, to different people, if they were to go out and these people did work for more people than just Gene themselves, then it's possible that they can be classified as independent contractors. But again, I'm thinking because if Gene's core business is teaching language as a second art, then or they may have to change the business model to something else and add that as part of their repertoire, so to speak. Somebody else asked what else? I'm trying to kind of read here, saying, where did it go here? Bear with me as I look through. I think maybe I lost it. I think somebody asked if they worked in California, but then they were contracted out by another state, would they be affected? Yeah, here it is. It says, what if you live in California but freelance for a company that is based in another state? Well, again, this particular bill is only in California, and if you're in California and that company, let's say, is in Texas, well, the bill haven't reached Texas yet. So the Texas employer is not bound by this California law. So you're good, right? Just a reminder, this is only in California. And the independent contractor, the responsibility is not on you. It is on the person doing the hiring. So as independent contractors in California, you can freelance with anybody outside the state. As far as that is my interpretation of this bill, because it is 100% on the employer to prove that you are independent in California and held by their law. Like I said, it hasn't spread, but I do believe the spread is coming. So I really want to make sure I clear that up. So I'm going to go ahead and get on over here to some of these comments and let's see what we have. Any questions? What about hiring children now or family? Well, great question. Hiring your children is to me one of the greatest strategies you can do, simply because children are expensive. Man, they cost a lot of money. I know people love them come tax time and they like, ooh, man, yeah, my children, y'all got me a lot of money back. And I'm like, man, they got you some money back that you've already spent, right? I was reading an article in Forbes magazine. They said on average, a child costs about $16,500 per year to maintain. Okay, so if you're spending out on average $16,500 per year per child, and the government is only giving you $4,000 back, right? It doesn't balance out to me. You're still losing, right? But one of the things you can do is hire your children, and that is something you are absolutely allowed to do. That is something that you are. If you have children, I encourage you to do so. Now there are certain, as with anything, certain rules, certain obligations, certain stipulations, right? Like you can't pull your child out of school to have them come work for you, right? You got to let them get the education. You got to let them get them sleep. You can't have them up all night because you up all night working. No, you can't do that, right? Hiring your children. You do have to pay them a reasonable wage, right? We can't just sit there, I'm going to pay you pennies and have you slaving away. No, there's a lot of rules and regulations that must be followed, but hiring your child is definitely true. They wouldn't be considered an independent contractor for you. You definitely would have to put them on payroll, okay, when you hire your child. Just for the simple fact that I don't think that they would meet A, B, or C as your child, because you are going to have control and direction. Yes, you are as your child. They are not going to perform work that is outside the course of the business. So, and they really wouldn't be customarily engaged in this. They'll be working for you and you only. So they would automatically fail A, B, and C, which means you would have to put them as a W-2 employee. But the great thing is, as your child, you don't have to pay all of those taxes. You won't have to have all of the benefits, unemployment work. You won't have to have none of that. Well, you know what? In California, you won't. Let me not say, because some states are different, but definitely check with your Department of Labor. That's where you want to start when it comes to hiring your children. Check with the Department of Labor and see what their laws are, and then check with the payroll requirements for hiring family members in your state. That is definitely something that you want to consider there. All right. So let's see what else we got here. Visionary Media representing Oakland in the building. Yes, sir. For my Bay Area people, loving it. Let's see here. What did Paris say? Taxes created for economy to help take care of the country in the middle to poor classes, but the rich learned about incentives and the poor did not, so they keep getting poor. I know about incentives. Yes. I mean, that is very, very interesting, because the only thing that really separates, I don't want to say winners from losers, but separate those who succeed versus those who do not is what they know. Not only what they know, but do they apply properly what they know? Of course, those who are wealthy, they do know a lot of tricks. They know a lot of loopholes, and they are able to navigate it, right? Which is my goal here, to kind of introduce us into some of those things that the wealthy do, so we can mimic that and then have our own wealth, right? We want to have wealth accumulation. We don't want to get rich. We don't want a lot of money. We want to have wealth accumulation, and it's a different mindset. One of my favorite quotes is, I pity the person who becomes a millionaire that does not know how to be a millionaire. Right there is a very stark difference. A lot of things we have to know. A couple of things I'm working on myself to be able to give to you guys is called MSL, which is money as a second language. Just like learning Spanish, just like learning French, just like learning any other type of communication, money is its own language, and we have to be able to learn and know it. So that is something you'll be hearing a lot from me. So yeah. And then somebody said, what about health insurance? As far as an independent contractor, again, you health, everything is on you. That's one of the things that people don't like, because they can't have access to certain things, or they go in thinking that, hey, I'm about to have access to the same benefits as an employee, health insurance being one of them. But then when they find out that they're independent contractor, that doesn't happen. So it's really, when you're independent, everything is on you. Your health insurance, your family's health insurance, dental insurance, vision, your savings, your cover, whatever it is, your vacation pay that you're saving up for. Think about it. As an independent contractor, if you go on vacation, you don't get paid for them hours. You haven't worked up 40 hours worth of free vacation pay. None of that. No, when you're independent, your savings is coming from you, right? So that's one of the things that a lot of people don't like, which is what I say is unfair. I got hired as an independent contractor. I didn't know that. And that's, again, the spirit of the bill, trying to make sure that, hey, if you are truly independent, be that, know that, and enjoy that. So what else? I do believe that's pretty much it, man. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really hope that we can take this information and really remain independent in 2020 if that's something that you want to do. If you want to become a W-2 employee and no longer be an independent contractor, again, have that conversation with the person who employed you. I really don't know, exactly how to help you navigate that. But yeah, also, so Levite says, can you write off health insurance? Yes. As a self-employed individual, you are able to deduct this self-employed health insurance. And that's what it's called, SEHI, self-employed health insurance deduction. So that is 100% deductible. There are some rules to it, right? Like you cannot be eligible in another like health plan through another company, even if you're married and you're eligible under your spouse's health care, even though you don't sign up, for the simple fact that you're eligible, they won't let you have it. So there are certain things to keep in mind, but definitely you are able to write off health insurance. So let's see what else here. Let's see, a lot of things going on, man. Y'all thanking me, I'm thanking y'all, man. I do this for y'all out there. Y'all keep me engaged. Y'all let me have fun with this. You are here encouraging me. So thank you to everybody who's here, all who joined, all who are going to watch this replay. I truly appreciate it. And man, I think we are right on time. It is now 6:54 and we should be good to go. Again, look out for 2020. A lot of great things coming, man. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything that you want to do, like I said, I'm trying out this live thing. Maybe we can do live once a month. We just talk about whatever. But let's get busy in 2020, man. And if you haven't picked up your Box 7 merchandise, make sure that you get some. Go check it out. It's definitely be in the description below. And that's pretty much it for me, guys. Again, Happy New Year, Happy New Decade. Looking forward to everything that we got going on. Make sure, again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you'll get notified when I go live, when I upload new videos, because I got some coming for you. Really excited. And what is, yeah, donation. I think I forgot about donation. Yeah, I don't have anything set up for me. I don't know if you was talking about me, Mr. Apparel there, but let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's it for me, guys, man. I love y'all. Really appreciate you. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.